it's Rachel and I have Hana and Hilo with me today, and we are going to be practicing walking on a leash with both dogs. So, I have borrowed some of their friends' leashes for today. These are just a bit sturdier and more comfortable to walk with, and also they stay on a bit better and they're longer, so it will give us just a little bit better practice. Now, I have kind of knotted the leashes together, so hopefully the dogs don't get jumbled up. It's easiest when you do your loose leash walking to always have the dogs in the same position. So what I'm going to do today is have Hilo on the inside and Hana on the outside. That's because Hana is a bit more attached to me, and so I feel like she listens a little bit better. So I want Hilo in closer to me so that I'm right here and can give her a little bit more guidance if need be. But of course you can choose which dog you want on the inside and outside, and it's really good for them, and it will help them succeed if you keep them in the same position. So you want the dogs walked on your right side. We're going to do kind of a combination between the loose leash walking and the heeling. So I don't want to necessarily give them the entire leash because they're both strong dogs. I don't want them kind of going all over the place and weaving in front of me and going apart. However, I do want them to have a nice relaxing walk and not have to be right by my side. Now, I also tied the leashes together so that they can be on the same stay on the same side and not get, mixed up, so Hana is closest to me, then she's farthest away, and so forth. And also it helps when they're walking if they can't get far apart, so you don't have one going behind you, one in other directions. It keeps them a little bit closer. They have great leashes, like at PetSmart or Petco, like this, where it is a 2-dog leash, where it has one handle, and then it comes down and it splits into 2. Which that might be really good for you to invest in for taking these girls for a walk so that they get used to it. So, we are going to start out. I'm not going to give them necessarily the entire leash, but I will let them have a bit of room, and we're going to practice the loose leash walking techniques. Now remember, we have the back method, which is where you're walking. As soon as they start pulling, you stop, plant your feet, pat your leg, and have them come back. And now I think that might be a little difficult with both dogs, but we'll see how it goes. And then there's also the reverse method, where as soon as they start pulling, you turn 180 degrees and say this way, and go off in the other direction. Now I do want to make it easy on them. I don't want to make it confusing, and so shh, sit, sit, good girls. Hilo, sit. Good girl. Okay, so we'll try the regular loose leash walking techniques that they've both been exposed to. If it's too difficult with both dogs, I'm going to try some other techniques to get them to walk nicely on a leash. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to be walking around this whole area. You might not be able to hear me, but at first I'm just going to be doing the same loose leash walking techniques that we've worked on individually with each dog. So, alright, I want to get them moved around here because I want Hilo on the inside. Hana on the outside. There we go. Hana, Hilo, sit. Sit. Sit, Hilo. Good, sit. Come on, girls. Back. Good girl. actually pretty great. Now they kind of switched, and for the most part it was Hana walking on the inside and Hilo walking on the outside. And that's okay, since they did that for the majority of the time. I think they might kind of be used to walking that way with Hana on the left and Hilo on the right. And so that's absolutely fine. I just wanted to try Hilo on the inside. Now, Hana was a lot better at sticking with me, and Hilo was the one, especially towards the end, that was going out in front. So with that, I think that Hilo definitely needs more loose leash walking practice one-on-one so that she understands that a bit better. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that Hana absolutely adores me, like she whines by the gate until someone lets her into the area I am. So maybe she's just a bit more responsive to me. And since they both have a good bond with you, it might be a little bit better with you as well, and Hilo might be more responsive. Now, with this, a lot of times when I was doing the turning around, it was because Hilo needed the correction and Hana didn't necessarily need it. I think the back method is a little too crazy for two dogs to do at once, so that's why I stuck mostly to the reverse method, where I turn around and went the other direction when they started pulling. But really, they did a good job. They were very responsive and respectful. Now, when I stop, I have both of them sit, and that's a really good habit for them to get into, and it also will help with them meeting new people and meeting new dogs and prep them for off-leash work. So the dog needs to be perfect on leash before we can move to off-leash. And so by teaching them to sit every time we stop, or sit every time they see a person that they want to meet or a dog that they want to meet, it gives you the security to know they aren't just going to take off and go forward to that. So you are still in control of when and who they meet. So I'm going to do a little bit more walking with them. This time I'm going to untie the leash and see how it goes. I think they did really well with where I had it tied this time. They still had room to move, and they weren't, struggling to walk at all. But hopefully, we'll see if they need the tie in the leash to keep them a little bit together, because with having two separate leashes like this, I don't want them to be going all over the place and around me and all of that. So, Hana is on the inside. That's kind of how they chose it. And let's start. Sit. Sit. Hana, Hilo, sit. Good girls. Good job. Good girls. Come on. This way. Sit. Good sit. Good girl. Good girl, Hana. Good girl, Hilo. Okay, that was really great. So, they still did pretty well even without the leashes tied together. However, I think that they did do better with them tied together. So, again, I would really suggest getting one of the two dog leashes where there's a little ring right about here, and then there are two strands that go to each dog, so you have a bit more control that way. Hana is doing a really great job, for the most part, just walking right by me at my pace, and Hilo is going a little bit farther ahead. Now, except when she's chasing flies like that, she's not pulling really hard, and so she's still easy to control, and she is very responsive to verbal corrections, like, this way, things like that. So that's good, but I think she could definitely use some more loose leash walking focus with just her on her own without Hana. So remember to practice this walking with them every day to make sure that they're really solid on it and to teach them the habits of walking nicely on a leash so it becomes second nature to them. All right, this was Rachel, Hana, and Hilo, and we are working on loose leash walking.